Thanks for tuning in to Chats with your Self-Worth BFF. This is your host, Mikaela Filar, where we are here to skyrocket your self-worth, heal your shit, and take your power back. Welcome to the chat. Hey guys, welcome back to Chats with your Self-Worth BFF. It's me, your host, Mikaela Filar. I am going to talk to you, we're going to chat about, I should say, the fear of failure and how to get over it. This one, it's going to be short and sweet and to the point. But before we get into it, I would like to remind you that I am still accepting one-on-one sessions. So if you are looking to book a one-on-one session with me where I will intuitively channel for you, if there is a specific obstacle that is holding you back, that would be in your best interest to like get over, in order to get closer to whatever it is that you're desiring in this life. And you can ask me whatever questions that you'd like. We basically are going to get you closer to your higher self and unlock your soul's potential and remind you of who the fuck you are. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, then I will I will link put the link in the show notes below. Also, if you're not ready to like jump into booking a session or a mentorship with me, then I highly suggest you jump into quantum leaping over obstacles. And what that is it's 8 people per class where I will be doing an intuitive reading on each person, just one question, or finding out whatever the biggest obstacle that's holding you back is that you should overcome. And the cool thing about these two is like whatever group that you end up in, you will be aligned to hear whatever it is that they're asking and or whatever I'm telling them. So really cool. It's like you're getting 8 reads for literally $30, which is mind-blowing. I'm questioning my sanity, but also excited about this because I want to get I want to help as many people as I possibly can. So let's get into it. The fear of failure and how to get over it. Honestly, I don't believe that there's really a way to get over failure 1000%. There's always going to be a part of you, if you're trying something new or if you're doing something new or you're wanting to do something new, that's going to be a little bit timid, a little bit afraid, a little bit scared. What if this happens? What if that happens? And you know what? That's just your ego. Your ego is like wanting you to play it safe. It's wanting to keep you in your comfort zone because that's what it knows. And starting new things, doing new things is terrifying. It's scary. And it's just something, it's just a part of life though. It's not something that should hold you back. And the question, it's not how to get over it. It's, are you going to stay in your comfort zone? Or are you going to feel the fear and do it anyway? When we start anything new, like I said, it's really terrifying. And there's always a chance that we can fail. There's always that, oh, well, what if it doesn't go the way that I had planned? For example, trying to learn how to snowboard or surf and being terrible at it, or maybe getting hurt. What are you going to do? Are you going to be like, oh, well, I suck at this, so I'm not going to do it ever again? Or, oh, I hurt my shoulder. Like 2 years or 3 years ago now, I think I fractured my humerus bone, which is like right here, connects your shoulder and your arm. And I fractured it. And I was terrified to get back on that board again last year, and I did it anyways. So a lot of people let that, the fear of being hurt, getting hurt, or just not being good at something hold them back from actually doing it. And I feel like that's such a growing point in your life where you have the opportunity to like take the lesson you learned from failing or from getting hurt and do it again. Like, don't do it again, but like try it again and just don't do what happened and just try it anyways and just go after whatever it is that you want to go after anyways. Um, just like when you are out of the dating scene and then you decide, I'm going to start dating again and I'm going to get back into it. And you meet somebody and you're like afraid of, oh, what if it doesn't work out? Or what if I get hurt again? Or all of the what ifs that you think when you start something new or start to get into a new relationship. Like, it's scary, but are you going to let that hold you back from potentially meeting the person of your dreams, from creating the relationship that you've always desired, from giving that person a chance to treat you right, to show you what it's like to actually be treated right by a person? I hope not. When you like start a new job and maybe you end up hating it and you either quit or you get fired because they know that you're not good at it or they know that you're miserable anyways. Like, the fear is always going to be there. It's just, how are you going to react to it? Are you going to tell it who's boss, or are you going to let your ego win? And you're going to play it safe and stay in your comfort zone and never try anything new again because you're afraid of that failure. Failure, in my opinion, is a learning lesson. I don't think that it's like, yeah, people perceive things as failing, but in my opinion, I think that there's so much to learn from failure. And if we don't fail at things, how do we learn? I don't know. I don't think that there's a way. I don't think there's a way around failure. If you want to try something new, if you want to get really, really good at something, you're going to have to fuck up a couple times. Just like if you start a business and your business fails, are you going to give up and like never work again, or never try to start some new business that maybe is, or pivot or go like a different way, different direction than you originally thought? There are so many people that are so wildly successful now that have failed so many times before actually like becoming a success. And they probably had to pivot. They definitely had to pivot. They definitely had to learn something new. They definitely had to put in a lot of work. They definitely had to learn from their failure in some cases. In everything that we do, there's a possibility that it won't go the way that you had hoped it would. There's a possibility that it could fail. So like I said, it's not, how do I get over failure? It's, how do I look at it? What can I learn from it if it does happen? I think it's a possibility for massive growth. And I refuse to let it hold me back. And I really want everyone listening to this and not listening to this to stop letting the fear of failure hold you back from doing whatever it is that you want to do in this lifetime. Just start, even if it's something small every day. As long as you're working towards something bigger, something better, something that you know you desire to do, something you desire to have, like, it takes work, and that's all you got to do is just start. There's a lot of times when we look at people who have success in certain things and we like envy them, or we are jealous of them because they have all this success in whatever it is in their life, in their relationship, in their job, in their career. And we just focus on that instead of focusing or asking questions like, what did you have to, like, what kind of failures trials and tribulations did you go through in order to get to where you're at right now? Nothing in this life worth having comes easily. And the moment that you just keep going and don't let that fear of failure hold you back, and stop comparing your journey to like everyone else's, because you don't know what they had to go through or do or how they failed in order to get to where they are. There's so many people, like I said, that are successful that have failed so many times that used to be extremely fucking broke and then finally figure it out, finally find out what they're most aligned to do in this life and just start and go for it and don't stop. Even if they fail here and there, have trials and tribulations, they do not quit. And in my opinion, if you want to be successful, there's one thing that every successful person has in common, no matter what the fuck they're doing. And it's that they never quit. They never gave up. They never gave in to the fear of failure, ever. They didn't let it get them down. They just kept on going. It's like that photo that you see of like the two gold miners, and one of them is like literally so close, like an inch away, just like one more hit against the wall and they would have struck gold. But they decide to turn around. And then you've got the other guy that just kept going and he hit gold. Moral of the story, keep going. Don't let failure hold you back. Don't let it. Don't let it scare you. Don't let it stop you. You just have to keep going and never, ever give up on whatever it is that you're desiring. Because if you want it bad enough and you work hard enough to get it, it's yours. Bottom line. What you focus on, you get more of. So if you focus on all the things that you desire and all of the lessons that you get to endure along the way, so that you could be the person that you were meant to be, that you were put on this earth to be. Psh, it's all yours, baby. It's all yours. Bottom line. Failure is nothing to be afraid of, in my opinion. I think it should be embraced. And yeah, I think it should be something that you're just like, if it does happen, you reflect on it and you write down your, like, the lesson that you've learned from it, and then you move forward. You don't sit there and dwell on it. You don't give yourself a pity party. Woe is me. This is happening to me. Victim, victim, victim. Like, no. We are getting the fuck up. We dusting off our shoulders and we are moving forward, because that is how you persevere. It's how you keep going. It's how you become successful. You just got to keep going. So I'm going to give you guys a tool on how to get over something that you're afraid of. And I'm going to give you an example of, how to use this tool. So I want you, like, let's say you have something in your life going on right now that you are, or like something that you want to do, something that you want to start, or maybe that you're starting. In this example, I'm going to say, like, let's say you meet somebody new and you've been hurt in the past multiple times and you're really afraid of opening your heart up again. I want you to write down and think of all the ways that it could possibly go bad. Yep. Write it down. Get out a piece of paper and pen. And I want you to write down all of the ways that it could possibly go wrong. So let's say, like I said, you're meeting somebody new and you're like, okay, let's say we get into a relationship and a month in, or 3 months in, my mom always jokes with me about this. It's you. I think it's 4 to 6 months until they start actually showing who they are. So we've learned this lesson. This is a lesson I've had to learn the hard way, of the fact that, like, I no longer will move fast with somebody. I will date them for a solid 4 to 6 months until I actually feel like I know them and trust them. And that is something that I didn't used to do because I always want to see the best in people. But you have to I'm at this point where like I have to protect myself, and it is what it is. So reeling it back in, when you meet somebody new and you've been hurt a couple times in the past and you're afraid to open your heart up again, you can write down what would happen. Let's say 4 months from now or 6 months from now, you date them for 6 months, and then they like have things that are like red flags that are just flying everywhere. And you're like, okay, like this is bad. I don't like want to be with this person. And then you've just like, dated this person in for 6 months, and hopefully you've learned something from it. It wasn't a complete waste of time. And it also will probably hurt. So yeah, like write that down. How would that feel? Like that wouldn't be, because you obviously want to see the best in them. You want the best for both of you. And so if you had to, if that terrible or bad thing happened, then you would that would just suck. So you just like write it down. So write down that there's a scenario. There's also a scenario of him, like you guys getting together and being together for a year and him cheating on you or her cheating on you, because it happens. And, that would suck. Write that down. You could also say 3 months down the road, they become somebody completely different than who they were in the beginning of your relationship. Write that down. You could bring it real deep. You could say, we end up falling madly in love. Everything is amazing. We get married. We have kids. And then they end up leaving me because I don't know, because something happens, because I get sick or so. I don't know. You can like say just anything that you're fearful of happening, like write that down. But then I don't want to stay on this, these negative situations, these negative stories that you're literally making up in your brain of like why you're afraid, why you would be afraid. I don't want you to stay here. I want you to then alter those stories that you're creating in your head. And I want you to write down all the reasons as to why, if it did go that way that you're fearing it went or it would go, what would you do, and how in the end you would still be okay. I've been through so much fucking shit, you guys. I've been through so much in my lifetime, and I'm still here. I turned out pretty good, surprisingly enough. I'm okay. And I've learned so much, and I'm okay. And you would be too, and you will be too. Do not let that fear hold you back from doing whatever it is that you want to do. You're going to be okay. No matter what the fuck life throws at you, you will be okay. Because you're not going to get anything thrown at you that you cannot handle. Just wouldn't happen. There's always a way for you to work through whatever it is that you go through. So you just got to do it anyways. Feel the fear, do it anyways. It's crazy to think about, life, and no matter what we go through, most of the time, unless extremely traumatic, like we come out the other end alive, the other end of it alive. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a silver lining to every cloud. I've said that multiple times. I might be bruised. You might be bruised. We might have scars that you can't physically see, but we'll be okay. We have lessons, and we have a lot of life left to live. I have, and you have, more new things to do, more new things to try, more people to meet. So, moral of the story, don't let your ego, past events, people hold you back from doing new things, trying new things, meeting new people, getting into that new relationship. Don't hide. Don't dim your light. Don't be afraid. You have too much life to live to stop trying new things, whatever they are. Just go after whatever it is that you want, and do not let your ego win. Do not let other people's opinions win. Do not give your power away like that. Stand true in your power. Know that no matter what happens, you will be okay. You will persevere. And also, like, what if it goes freaking incredible? Just saying. There's a good to every bad and a bad to every good, and you just have to neutralize it. I hope this helped. I hope you resonated with this, and that's all I've got for you today. We'll chat soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this resonated with you, please make sure you leave a rating and review. Like and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Kayla Cakes, at KAELA_CAKES. Visit my website at MikaelaRyanFilar.com to find out more about my coaching services. All of these links are in the show notes below. Make sure you tune in for next week's episode. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Friday. Chat soon.